might have a new sweater.
Yep. Sweater. Tao of Jeet, page 86. Of these economy of kicks which, besides the hook kick, go for absolute speed. Guard from flickiness. Find a happy medium, however, with speed in mind. Work on that particular initiation economy and not just on those kicks with non-changing, on-guard movements. Instead, have that sudden economy be the guideline at the drop of a dime. Powerful kicks with non-commitment. Use speedy delivery. Hook kick example. Small basic bent knee position, neutral. Economic initiation. Find the point for quick recovery to neutrality. This concerns all kicks. The basic kick insertion without footwork.
And you got diagrams in there too?
Yeah.
You need to do like a PowerPoint lecture.
Learn how to cover initiation and a quick recovery to neutrality. Covering should be automatic and continual. Name kicks that involve the absolute changing of on-guard positioning before and or after initiation. Study the leverage and still initiation. Master kicking quickly and powerfully from high, low, or ground posture. Develop body feel and efficient form in dropping suddenly to fast, powerful kicks while advancing. Retreating, circling left, circling right. Learn to use energy flow to rise from unaccustomed squatting position. You must develop combinations of punches and or kicks that work well. Develop the ability to apply a sweep with the economy of a kick. Look into initiating.
Deliver a sweep with the economy of a kick.
Develop the ability to apply a sweep with the economy of a kick. Look into initiating. Kicking should be quick in delivery and recovery and must be easy and loose. The on-guard position is the controller. Look into initiating the foot sweep with or without handwork as a counter or attack at long, medium, and close range. Practice foot sweep and takedown. From a fast initiation, as part of a combination and as a counter attack. Study kicking while a man is down. Kick below the ear, on the temple, toe to the base of the neck or head, toe to the crotch, or toe to the tailbone. Stomping on the knee, heel to the solar plexus. Stomping on the ankle, heel to the face, drop knee to the groin, drop knee to the solar plexus, knee drop to head.
Good question. Solar plexus in the middle of the back. I think that's it.
That's right.
Oh,
Heel on ribs, stomping on ankle, heel on back. The leading straight punch is the backbone of all punching in Jeet Kune. The leading straight punch is the backbone of all punching in Jeet Kune. It is used both as an offensive and defensive weapon to stop and intercept an opponent's complex attack at a moment's notice. When you are standing right foot forward, your right punch and right leg become the main offensive weapons because of their advanced position. With your right foot forward, your right hand is much closer to your opponent than your left. The reverse is true for the left foot forward stance. When fighting, keep your strongest side up front. The leading straight punch is the fastest of all punches. With the minimal movements involved in delivery, balance is not disturbed, and because it goes straight toward the target, it has a better chance of landing. The opponent has less time to block. Also, the straight punch is more accurate than other punches. No one punch, not even the efficient straight lead, can be an end in itself. Though there are styles that use nothing but straight line punching, the straight lead is used as a means to an end, and a fish definitely should be reinforced and supported by other angle punches and kicks, making your weapons more flexible without confinement to any one line. After all, a good man should be able to strike from all angles with either hand or leg to take advantage of the moment. The delivery of the straight punch is different from the traditional classical Kung Fu. First of all, the punch is never positioned on the hip, nor does it start from there. This way of delivery is unrealistic and exposes too great an area to protect. Of course, this also adds unnecessary distance to travel toward the opponent. In Jeet Kune Do, you never strike your opponent with your fist only. You strike him with your whole body. In other words, you should not hit with just arm power. The arms are there as a means to transmit great force with the correct timing of feet, waist, shoulder, and wrist motion at great speed. Instead of coming from the shoulder, the punch is thrown from the center of the body in the form of a vertical fist, thumb up, and straight toward the front of your own nose. The nose here is the center guiding line. The wrist is slightly turned downward before delivery and is immediately straightened upon impact to add a corkscrew effect to the opponent. The important point is not to have any classical get-set posture or preparatory movements prior to delivering the straight punch, or any punch for that matter. Leading straight punch is delivered from your ready stance without any added motions like drawing your hand back to your hip or shoulder, pulling back your shoulder, etc. Practice your lead punch from the ready stance and finish again in the ready stance, not back on the hip. Later on, you should be able to strike from wherever the hand happens to be at the moment. Remember, punching in this manner will give you added speed, no wasted motions, and deception. No giveaway movements preceding the punch. Use Zen illustration. Eat, but he is thinking. Punch, but he is scared or rushing. Thus, a punch is not a punch. Most guarding is done with the rear hand, thus the term guarding hand. When striking with the lead hand, do not make the common mistake of the traditional classical way by putting your rear hand on your hip. The rear hand is there to supplement your lead to make the attack a defensive offense. For example, when striking a body blow with the lead hand, the guarding hand, the rear hand should be held high to offset any countering your opponent to your upper body. In short, when one hand is out, the other should be either immobilizing one of the opponent's arms or withdrawing not all the way to the hip for protection against countering and to secure a strategic position for a follow-up.
Don't drop your hands.
Say again?
Don't drop your hands.
Yes. Relaxation is essential for faster and more powerful punching. Let your lead punch shoot out loosely and easily. Do not tighten up or clench your fist until the moment of impact. All punches should end with a snap several inches behind the target. Thus, you punch through the opponent instead of at him. After shooting out the lead hand, do not drop it when withdrawing to the ready stance. Though you might see this being done by a good man because he is potentially fast and good at timing and distance, you should cultivate the habit of returning along the same path and keeping that hand high for any possible counters. When striking with the lead hand, it is advisable to constantly vary the position of your head for added protection against the opponent's counter. During the first few inches of advancing, the head remains in line. After that, the head should adapt. Also, to minimize counters from the opponent, you should at times feint before leading. However, do not overdo the feinting or the head work. Remember, simplicity, just enough is enough. Sometimes it pays to use double leads because they are unexpected and the second punch tends to disturb the opponent's rhythm and thus paves the way for a follow-up. When advancing to attack, the lead foot should not land before the fist makes contact or the body weight will end up on the floor instead of behind the punch. Remember to take up power from the ground by pushing off with the rear foot. Your lead should be like greased lightning and must never be held rigidly or motionless. Keep it slightly moving without exaggeration in a threatening manner, as it not only keeps your opponent on edge, but also can be delivered from motion than from immobility. Like a cobra, this stroke should be felt before it is seen. This is particularly true of the leading finger jab. The elusive lead. In delivering the lead, the position of the head should be constantly varied. Sometimes up, sometimes down, sometimes neither up or down. Sometimes the rear hand can be placed in front of the face while leading. This might entail a loss of reach and rapidity, keeping your opponent guessing. Variety. Straight hitting and straight kicking is the foundation of scientific fighting skill. Note the sudden change level. Use the first 2 inches to lead, then a sudden change head feint. Use as defense for swings, hands, feet, hooks, hands, feet, reverse heels, spin kicks, and blows. Use the setup for grappling and tackling. Necessary qualities of a straight lead: perfect balance of body, accuracy of aim, precise timing and coordination, maximum power of punch. The straight lead is the blow that, whether used in attack or defense, leaves its exponent in hitting range for a shorter period than any other. Most experts make it their principal blow. Some fighters are continually making the alternating movements of engaging, then making an absence of touch, lowering or drifting the hand. This habit can be used to advantage. As the adversary is leaving the blade and moving across to the opposite line, the opportunity of making a straight thrust is present. For an opponent who lacks decision, one who extends to lead but brings his head back to the on guard position, the straight thrust can follow advantageously.
Let's talk about a straight thrust. You're talking about kicks or punches?
I think he's talking about kick. The above defensive errors, in conjunction with the step forward by the opponent, render the straight thrust all the more possible. Straight hitting and straight kicking is the foundation of scientific fighting skill. It developed late in history and therefore is the product of careful thought. Requiring speed and intelligence to use, it travels less distance than round arm blows or hook and spin kicks and will reach the mark first. Straight blows and kicks are more accurate than hooks and swings and allow full use of the arm and leg reach. Straight hitting is based on an understanding of body structure and the value of leverage. It is an attempt to use body weight in every blow. Hitting with the body and using the arms as merely the vehicles of force. Arm action alone is insufficient to give real power to blows. Real power, quick, accurate, can be obtained only by shifting the weight in such a manner that the hip and shoulder precede the arm to the center line of the body. There are only two methods which obtain a complete shift of weight. Compare this with kicking. A pivot or quick turn of the waist, allowing the hip and shoulder to precede the arm. A full body pivot, shifting the weight from one leg to the other. The waist pivot is faster and easier to learn and is used as a basis for teaching the art of hitting. Hitting does not mean pushing. True hitting may be likened to the snap of a whip. All the energy is slowly concentrated and then suddenly released with tremendous outpouring of power. Pushing is exactly the opposite, with the concentrated force at the start of the blow and the subsequent loss of power as the arm leaves the body. In real hitting, the feet are always directly under the body. In pushing, the body is often off balance as the force of the blow does not come from the pivot of the body but only from the push off the rear foot. Power in hitting comes from the quick twist of the waist, not a swaying movement, but a pivot over the straight lead leg. As long as the straight line is maintained, as long as the hips are relaxed and free to swing, as long as the shoulders are not tensed and are turned through to the center of the line of the body before the arms are extended, power will result and hitting will be an art. Once the straight line of the lead side of the body is broken, power is lost because the straight lead side of the body is the anchor. The pivot point, the hinge from which power and force is generated to its greatest height. So great the power that may be attained is in this manner that a real artist can deliver a knockout blow without taking a single step forward or displaying any apparent effort. Pay particular attention to the development of relaxed tension. If you tighten up, you lose the flexibility and timing which are so important to successful punches. Keep relaxed at all times and remember that timing is your chief aid in making a blow effective. Punches are not supposed to be thrown with the wind-up motion. They are made with the well-directed forearm and loose shoulder muscles. Only when the punch begins to land should the fist be clenched. The momentum helps carry the arm back to the proper position. The top of your shoulder is at the level of the point you are striking. Sometimes it is all right to stand on the balls of your feet when landing a headshot on a tall person to make your shoulder come to the level of his jaw. When hitting to the pit of the stomach, both knees give way until the shoulder is at the level of the pit of the stomach. Remember to take up power from the ground through your legs, waist, and back. Sway all your muscles into your punches. At the same time, do your best to cut down motions and make them drive through. Push off from the ground. When using a body pivot, turn on the balls of both feet while punching. The fist comes straight from the center with the full power of one or the other leg behind it. Sometimes a quick 3 or 4 inch jump will do the trick. According to your position and the time you had to put the right lead punch in, you may occasionally take a short step to the left, just a few inches with your left foot. Watch out for the kicks. This will put even more weight into the punch, especially at fairly long range. Timing is best when the opponent rushes in. Remember, when advancing, the foot must not land first, or the body weight will rest upon the floor instead of being behind the punch. Heel slightly raised and pointing outward. Always have the legs slightly bent so that strong thigh muscles come into play, like a spring, especially before coming in. Your steps should be long enough to make your reach good, and you should drive your punch slightly through your target. Use your whole reach. To ensure success, the straight hit and the lunge step must be one coordinated move. Your head should sway slightly to the right as it moves forward with your step. So this was some drills. Same partner that you guys get.